Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Benton.
And we're Team Baby Names. We chose a dataset from the Social Security Administration that holds the number of babies born each year with different names, from 1880 to 2019.
We chose the dataset because we thought it would be fun to kind of explore the data and find out which baby names have gone in and out of popularity over the years.
We know this isn't the most important question, but we thought it would be an exciting and fun way to interact with the data. Parents, when choosing a baby name, might use this service to ensure that their child's name will not spike in popularity if they're looking for a unique name, or drop out of the top altogether if they're looking for something more common. Hey Benton, whose parents have more basic names?
Yours for sure.
I don't know about that. I wish there was a tool that we could use to figure this out.
What about github.io/A4babynames?
Let's go check it out! Here's our visual. Baby names over the years with some nice baby emojis to complement. We have some instructions at the top, and down below we have some buttons and a bar chart. When you first log on, the year is set to 2000, change of the millennial. If you want to change the year, you have a couple options. You can use this nice button to lower the year, or the corresponding one to raise the year. You can also type in any year you want directly that ranges from 1880 to 2019. Lastly, you have the slider that you can use to change the year. Now, you might be saying, okay, cool, but why can't I watch a bar chart race? Well, you can't. All you have to do is hit play. You can scroll down and watch the bars change before your eyes. If we want to take a look at our parents' names to see which are more basic, we can enter them here in this nice text box that says names here. Capitalization doesn't matter, and you can enter them as a nice comma-separated list. My parents' names are Dan and Stephanie, and Benton's are Julie and Tim. We click Add, and you can see them all pop up at the bottom. Now you might be saying, why are there two Dans? Dan M and Dan F? But that's because there are male Dans and female Dans. Only 8 female Dans in the year 1916. But we'll watch as this progresses. So I hit play, and our special values are surrounded by these white outlines, which makes them easier to follow. And also there's a little bit of a jumpy bug here, but that's something to revise for our final. As the time goes on, most of these names are staying down in the bottom, but we can see Julie starting to pop up, Stephanie starting to pop up a little bit, Dan, but wait, you might have just realized Daniel is actually the more common version of Dan. So even if you remove those previous names and decide to add another one, they're all still there. And now you can see we have Daniel and then all of the previous names still highlighted. And you can just resume from where you left off. Now we have Daniel, Julie, and Stephanie again. Sounds like my parents' names might be a little more basic based on this. But let's just see how it plays out. None of these names ever get super high. We can see Daniel make a little bit of a peak. And the slider will end in 2019 since that's the latest data we have. Now we want to demonstrate the clear button and what these filters do. So if you want to get rid of all of your selections, you can just hit clear, and it goes back to being in a nice ordered list of the top 20 names. Say you just want to look at female names, you can click this button and you see we only have names listed with F. Or if you want to look at male names, you can hit this button and see names listed with M. And as always, if you want to go back, you can just click both and see all of the names.
When we were looking at the data, there are a couple things that we thought were interesting. One thing is that the Social Security Administration decided to only publish names that had at least 5 people with that name in order to preserve privacy, but we thought that it was interesting that 5 was the cutoff for that. As far as why we picked the visual encodings that we did, we tried to stick with a bar chart and a bar race just because we have no experience with web development and no experience with D3 prior to this project. Also, a couple alternative ideas that we still might add, but it depends on whether the data is too big to really load in a reasonable time, is whether we can also filter by state. There's data for each state that's essentially the same size as the national data, so it increased the amount of data we have to load by about 50 times.
Now for some questions.
Right now, you can either manipulate the year that we filter on by using a slider or by using a text box with some arrows, and we wanted to know which one you thought was better.
Our second question was about our color scheme. Do you think the colors pop, or could we do better? What would you recommend?
Also, just in general, was there anything you found confusing or extremely unintuitive with the visualization?